Welcome, dreamer. You're listening to Evernight Stories, a quiet place for gentle tales and peaceful dreams. Make yourself comfortable. It's time to rest. Before we begin, if these calm moments mean something to you, consider subscribing so the next story finds you easily. Tonight, we'll wander through a small town just as morning begins. A town where chimneys breathe soft curls of smoke, and the cobblestone streets glisten with the last traces of night. Take a slow breath and let the gentle hush of dawn settle around you. This is the hour when everything is quiet enough for memories to speak, for names to feel like warm, familiar lanterns, and for one old postman to begin his day-long conversation with the world. The town wakes slowly. It doesn't rise all at once, like cities full of noise and hurry. Instead, morning unfurls here, the way a letter opens beneath careful hands, softly, patiently, with a rustle of promise. Mist gathers in the hollows between the houses, hovering in pale ribbons over the cobblestones. The lamps along Main Street are still lit, casting warm halos through the thinning fog. The windows above the bakery glow faintly, the first sign that bread will soon be rising in the oven. And through this quiet tapestry of dawn comes the steady, unhurried creak of an old bicycle. The postman, Mr. Ellis, pedals down the narrow street with a familiar ease, as though he has been part of this morning for longer than anyone can remember. His canvas mailbag rests against his hip, bulging with envelopes that hold everything from grocery lists to birthday wishes to the sort of shy confessions people only entrust to ink. The wheels of his bicycle whisper through the damp, rolling over fallen leaves and yesterday's raindrops. Each turn of the pedal sounds like a soft heartbeat in the stillness. He is an old man now, hair silvered by decades of weather, and eyes lined with gentle creases that suggest many years of smiling. But his posture remains steady, and his pace deliberate. He moves as if he knows there is no need to rush what is meant to be savored. Every morning begins the same way. He greets the street lamp by the bakery with a small nod, as if the lamp has kept him company through the night. He slows as he passes the florist's shop, breathing in the faint scent of lavender that always lingers in the air. And he lifts his chin slightly toward the church tower, listening for the bell that will soon chime the first note of day. Mr. Ellis knows this town in the way gardeners know their soil, and sailors know their tides. He knows which windows will open first, which chimneys will light earliest, and which doors squeak softly before welcoming sunlight inside. He knows every face here, not by age or occupation, but by name. Names, to him, are small, bright things that glow long after the letters fade. A breeze moves down the street, carrying the softest scent of warm bread and the faint hum of someone starting a kettle. The sky lightens. By degrees, a wash of pale gold creeping above the rooftops. The mist thins, pulling back like a curtain to reveal the familiar shapes of shop signs and ivy-covered walls. Mr. Ellis pedals on, letting the rhythm of the morning guide him. He touches the corner of his mailbag, not to check its weight, but in greeting, as though the letters inside were old friends he has yet to visit. He stops at the first house on Willow Lane, propping his bicycle gently against the fence. The fence is always cool at this hour, beaded with dew like tiny pearls. He reaches into his bag and pulls out an envelope bearing a name he knows well, Margaret Whiteley. He smiles. Margaret always writes to her sister on Sundays, and her sister always writes back by Tuesday. There is a rhythm to these things, a quiet, dependable rhythm that makes the world feel steady. He slips the letter into the mailbox with a soft, familiar click. The sound blends seamlessly with the distant murmur of waking birds. Mr. Ellis straightens up, breathes in the cool morning air, and steps back onto his bicycle. Around him, the town brightens slowly, as though taking its first gentle breath of the day. And the old postman pedals onward, carrying the names of everyone he has ever known, like small lanterns, glowing quietly in his memory. Mr. Ellis turns onto a quieter lane, one lined with tall maple trees that still hold the last drops of morning dew. The leaves brush lightly above him, as though offering a soft greeting, and he answers with a gentle nod. A habit he has carried for years. He stops at the next house, a little brick cottage with blue shutters, and a porch swing that creaks even when no one sits on it. The mailbox bears the name he could never forget, Harold Finch. Harold has lived here for as long as Mr. Ellis can remember. When Harold's wife was alive, she used to send long letters to her sister in the countryside, pages filled with notes about her garden, recipes she had perfected, and stories about Harold pretending he didn't love her lemon tarts, even as he ate 3 in one sitting. Mr. Ellis remembers all of it, not because he tries to, but because names carry traces of the lives behind them, and he has always felt honored to be trusted with such things. He slips Harold's mail gently into the box and continues down the lane. As he rides, he murmurs the names of the people whose letters he carries this morning, not aloud, but in the quiet of his mind. Eleanor Price, who bakes pies every Wednesday and always leaves the window open so the smell drifts into the street. Tommy Clark, the boy who once mailed a letter addressed simply to the moon in the sky. Mr. Ellis still smiles at that one. He never forgets a name, even now when other things slip away. Where he left his gloves, whether he locked the back gate, the year someone moved or married or left. The names remain. He carries them gently, as though they are folded letters, kept safe in the pocket of his heart. And on this quiet morning, with the mist still clinging to the roofs, he feels grateful for each one. When Mr. Ellis reaches the small oak bench at the corner of Linden Street, he pauses, just as he does every morning, to adjust the strap of his mailbag and warm his fingers against the side of his cup. The sun has not fully risen, but the sky is beginning to glow at the edges, a soft gradient of pale apricot slipping into blue. Birdsong drifts through the cool air, scattered and sleepy. He opens his bag to sort the next few letters. Most envelopes are familiar at a glance. Names tied to faces he's seen for decades. Stories he has watched unfold in tiny, gentle ways. But one envelope makes him still. It is cream-colored, edges slightly worn, sealed with a delicate press of gold wax. There is an address, a street he knows well, but the line for the name is blank. Only the words "yours, always," curve neatly at the bottom corner, in handwriting so elegant, so careful, that it feels almost like a whisper. He turns the envelope over in his hand, studying the loops of the script. Something about it tugs at him, a familiarity not of memory, but of feeling. He frowns softly. He has delivered thousands of letters, yet he cannot recall ever seeing this one before. Still, something inside him recognizes it. A warmth, a softness, a name he cannot speak, and yet somehow has never truly forgotten. He slips the envelope back into the bag and continues down the street, slower now, as though listening for a voice carried on the morning air. Mr. Ellis pedals slowly down Maple Row, a narrow street shaded by tall sycamores whose branches arch gently overhead, creating a kind of leafy tunnel where morning light drips softly through. He knows every house here, not because of their numbers or colors, but because of the people who live behind each door. Their habits, their laughter, their kindnesses scattered over the years like breadcrumbs he has followed for a lifetime. At the yellow house with the overgrown roses, he pauses. This is where Mrs. Alder lives, a woman who always greets him with flour on her apron and a story about the birds nesting in her gutters. She once gave him a jar of blackberry jam because no postman should ride on an empty stomach. He smiles at the memory and slides her mail into the box with care. 2 houses down, a wooden wind chime sways in the breeze. The soft clinking notes remind him of the summer a boy named Jacob built it for his mother out of old keys and bits of brass pipe. Jacob is grown now, working in a city far away, but the chime still sings his name every time the wind passes through. Mr. Ellis listens for a moment, letting the sound settle in his chest like a warm echo. But even as he continues his route, his thoughts return to the cream-colored letter tucked safely in his bag. It rests there quietly, yet he feels its presence like a gentle pulse, as though someone is thinking of him at the very same moment. He can't remember whose handwriting it resembles or why it feels so familiar, but the feeling lingers, soft and persistent, accompanying him from house to house like a shadow made of light. And though he greets each mailbox with the same steady care, his steps grow just a little slower, as if waiting for the name on that letter to reveal itself in the rhythm of the morning. The sun rises slowly behind the hills, casting a pale wash of gold across the rooftop as Mr. Ellis continues down his route. The morning air is cool and damp, still holding the softness of night. He inhales deeply, drawn to the faint scent of fresh bread drifting from the bakery on the corner. The bicycle wheels hum beneath him, a gentle, steady sound that blends with the chirping of sparrows, perched along telephone lines. Their songs weave through the quiet, bright and airy, like threads of sunlight sewn into the fabric of dawn. He slows near the fountain at the town square. The water glimmers with early light, each ripple catching a shimmer of silver. Children often play here in the afternoons, but now the square is empty, a peaceful bowl of stone and echoing steps. He parks his bicycle beside the marble edge and reaches into his bag. His fingers brush against envelopes of all shapes and weights, some crisp and new, others slightly worn from long journeys. He knows their textures as well as he knows people, the smooth ones for bank notices, the thick ones for birthday cards, the thin blue ones for distant relatives, writing from across the sea. He finds a small stack addressed to the shops along the square. The stationery carries a smell he has always loved. Paper touched by morning air, mixed faintly with ink, and the ghost of someone's hopes pressed into the envelope flap. He begins to walk. The cobblestones beneath his feet are slick with dew, cool through the thin soles of his shoes. A soft breeze stirs the smell of coffee from the cafe on the east side, where the owner, Mr. Rowan, always arrives before dawn to warm the ovens and polish the front window. The cafe door opens with a low chime. Mr. Ellis pauses at the entrance and slips 2 letters inside the old brass slot. He remembers how, years ago, Mr. Rowan would tap at the front glass and wave as he prepared the day's first cup. Back then, steam would fog the window, and the town would smell of roasted beans and vanilla. Those mornings feel close now, nestled gently behind the quiet of this one. He moves on, letting the rhythm of walking settle into his bones. Every step matches the slow beat of his heart. He has walked this square thousands of times, but it never loses its charm. The stone benches beneath the oak trees, the wrought iron lampposts with their curling patterns, the faint chalk drawings left on the ground by children who play until dusk. As he continues down the row of shops, he remembers names not just as labels, but as moments. Mrs. Langley, who baked apple pies every Friday and always left an extra slice near the window for any passerby who might need it. He can almost smell the cinnamon now, warm and sweet, lingering in the back of his throat. Peter Doyle, the tailor who hummed old jazz tunes, while stitching hems and mending coats. Every tune had the same slow rhythm, like footsteps on thick carpet, and Mr. Ellis would sometimes find himself matching that rhythm as he walked his route. Anna and Lily Harper, the two sisters who ran the stationery shop, where the shelves smelled of paper and glue and freshly sharpened pencils. They used to slip small notes into his mailbag, little drawings of sparrows, teacups, or lampposts glowing in the night. He kept a few of them tucked in his drawer at home. All of these memories drift through him as he delivers the last letters to the square. He is surrounded, not by people, but by echoes of their kindness. He returns to his bicycle, touching the handlebars with a familiar gesture, gentle, almost affectionate. When he pedals toward Rosewood Lane, the breeze picks up again, rustling the leaves overhead. They shimmer in the sunlight, each leaf turning like a page of a story someone has written long ago. The houses along Rosewood Lane are painted in soft pastels, sage green, pale yellow, dusty blue, and each garden brims with early blooms. Lavender bushes sway by the fences, releasing their scent into the air with each passing breath of wind. As he rides, the lavender mixes with the smell of earth, still damp from last night's rain. It reminds him of mornings from his childhood, when he would help his mother hang laundry outside the old farmhouse. She used to hum softly under her breath, a tune without words, just warmth. Sometimes he hears that same hum in the breeze, as if time folds back on itself to offer him small comforts. He stops at the Harper residence, the third house on the lane. White shutters, a climbing rose bush, and a garden that never seems to wither. He places 2 envelopes into the mailbox, his fingers brushing against the cool metal. The roses beside him sway slightly, their petals carrying the faintest trace of summer sweetness. When he mounts his bicycle again, the cream-colored letter shifts in his bag, heavy not in weight, but in presence. He feels it, like a soft hand resting on his shoulder. He closes his eyes for a moment, letting the sensation wash over him. The letter seems connected to some distant warmth buried in his chest, a memory just out of reach, a name he can almost hear but cannot fully recall. He opens his eyes to the morning light, watching how the sun gently scatters across the lane. Each ray feels like a reminder that even forgotten things still leave traces of kindness in the shape of a feeling. He exhales slow and soft and begins to ride again, letting the world move beside him in its gentle, steady way. The day unfolds without hurry. The birds shift to their afternoon songs. The wind carries the perfume of wildflowers. The town breathes, and Mr. Ellis breathes with it, carrying names, carrying memories, carrying a quiet truth he has not yet spoken. By early afternoon, the light has softened into a warm golden haze. Mr. Ellis stops by the little stone bridge near the edge of town, a place he often lingers when his bag is lighter and the shadows grow long. He takes out the cream-colored letter once more. The wax seal glints faintly in the sunlight, a soft shimmer of gold, like the edge of a distant memory. He turns it over slowly, tracing the empty line where a name should be. Most people would find it strange, a letter with no recipient. But to him, it feels less like a mistake and more like a quiet invitation. He studies the handwriting again. It still stirs something inside him. Not recognition exactly, but familiarity. The same way one remembers the warmth of a room, long after forgetting its furniture. For years, people have marveled at how he remembers every name. The old ones, the new ones, even the ones belonging to people who moved away long ago. But as he stands on the bridge, watching sunlight ripple across the stream below, he realizes something gentle and unexpected. He never remembered names because of memory. He remembered them because each name held a feeling, a kindness, a laugh, a moment shared, a story whispered in passing. Names were not facts. They were lanterns. Carrying them simply meant carrying the warmth they once gave him. He looks at the nameless envelope and smiles softly, almost to himself. "I know you," he murmurs, "even if I can't say your name." As the afternoon drifts toward evening, the town glows with a gentle, amber light. Shadows stretch softly across the cobblestones, and the warm scent of dinner rolls out of open windows. Mr. Ellis walks toward the corner of Elm and Brookside, where an old wooden postbox stands beneath a sprawling chestnut tree. The paint is chipped, the hinges a little rusted, but he has always liked it. It feels honest, well used, kind. He reaches into his bag and takes out the cream-colored letter one last time. He holds it for a moment, letting the paper rest lightly between his fingers. There is no name on it, no one waiting for it. And yet, the letter feels full of warmth, as though it carries something meant for anyone who might need a soft word today. He slides it gently into the slot, listening as it lands inside, with a quiet, satisfying whisper. Someone will find it. Someone will open it. Someone will smile. Kindness, he thinks, is just a letter sent without expecting a reply. Evening settles over the town like a soft, woolen blanket. The last traces of sun melt behind the hills, leaving the streets brushed in gentle gold that soon fades into blue. Mr. Ellis pedals slowly along the quiet road toward his home. The air is cooler now, carrying the earthy scent of watered gardens and the faint sweetness of chimney smoke drifting from early suppers. The bicycle wheels turn with a low, steady hum, a sound that feels almost like breathing, in and out, matching the rhythm of the settling night. Fireflies blink among the hedges, their tiny lights bobbing like floating embers. Some drift upward and mingle with the first stars appearing overhead. The sky deepens, a peaceful wash of indigo and silver. When he reaches his small cottage at the edge of town, he sets his bicycle against the porch rail and hangs his mailbag on its familiar hook by the door. The leather is worn, but it holds its shape, much like the memories he carries. Inside, the living room glows with the soft light of a single lamp. He boils water for tea, the kettle clicking softly as it warms. The scent of mint rises into the air, fresh and calming, wrapping around him like a gentle embrace. He sits in his old armchair by the window, a place shaped perfectly to the curve of his back. Outside, the last fireflies flicker, and the breeze moves slowly through the leaves, a hush passing from branch to branch. He sips his tea, letting the warmth settle deep in his chest. His breath grows slower, smoother, like the lull of a slow-turning tide. Beyond the window, the town is quiet now. Lights twinkle in kitchens and bedrooms. Voices soften. Doors close gently. It is a town at rest, and he, nestled in his chair, rests with it. The names he carried today settle softly in his memory, not as facts, but as small lanterns glowing warm in the dark. And in the steady hush of evening, the whole world seems to whisper, "You've done enough. You've arrived. It's time to rest. Night deepens, quiet and complete. The lamp on the small table glows softly, its golden light folding gently into the corners of the room before settling into stillness. Mr. Ellis leans back in his chair, eyes half closed, breath slow and even. The warm scent of mint lingers in the air, mixing with the cool hush drifting through the open window. Outside, the town sleeps. A few distant lights flicker like tiny stars nestled close to the earth. The world feels small now, safe, familiar, held. He lets his eyes fall shut completely, hands resting loosely on his lap. And with a soft exhale, he whispers to the quiet, "Good night to every name I've ever carried." The room dims, the night settles, and everything fades gently into peaceful rest.